Various arms of government cooperate and work in harmony. There is no limit to what can be achieved. While the special advisor to the President on Senate matters, Senator Bashir Lado, has hailed the President of the Senate, Godswill Akpabio, for his professionalism in overseeing the recent screening of 7 ministerial nominees. The presidential aide is also receiving commendation for the feat. The 7 ministerial nominees have commended Senator Lado for the support he offered to them in the course of the screening. Speaking on behalf of the ministerial nominees, the Minister of State Designate for Foreign Affairs, Bianca Odumegu Ojukwu, thanked Senator Lado for making the whole process smooth for them. Let's hear from her.
Thank you enough for how you have navigated us all through this process and how you have made us quite comfortable with the whole procedure. I speak for myself. I don't know about anybody else. I was quite nervous. And we were just wondering, basically, if this day would come and go. And from the onset, each person here, you make the effort to get in touch personally, speak to us, tell us everything that we needed to do, all the documentation that needed to be done, and saw us through this from beginning to completion. So I would just like, on behalf of everybody here, and of course I congratulate all my colleagues here, but on behalf of all of us, to just say a very, very big thank you. We really appreciate your efforts. We appreciate your consideration. We appreciate your sacrifice, because we're calling you at odd hours of the night, and you are always available to speak to us and to guide us through this. So I thank you so very much on behalf of all of us here.
All right, Mikhail, what's this about?
Yes, when you, just as Bianca said, they were tensed up before going for the screening, because you never can tell what question somebody will ask that will knock you off your perch. So they were tensed up. But Senator Bashir Lado is an experienced customer. The president just newly appointed him to serve as the middleman between him and the Senate, the upper chamber of the legislature. So he's just settling down. This is his first assignment. And these new ministers had to be screened. So he made the whole process simple for them, despite that they were all tensed up. When you're talking about people, you look at them, most of them had not been ministers before. Some had not even occupied any public position. So they were tensed up. But the way Senator Lado handled the situation, the way he interfaced with the senators, and the way he prepared them for what was to come was really calming. And Bianca Ojukwu was grateful. She led others to the senator to thank him for the way things went and for the role he played in ensuring that he had a smooth sail during the screening. It's always good when the president appoints somebody who had been in the legislature. Remember Itagiwa? Senator Itagiwa played this role before. And no person can handle your colleagues better than somebody who had been with you, And being a very sociable person, Senator Lado is able to relate with his colleagues, and you expect that he will get the right result. He's a humble person and is experienced in many ways. So this kind of assignment is like something tailor-made for him. So he was able to reach out to his colleagues, and we didn't have any hiccups. We've had people who were nominated, and the Senate said, no, we do not want you.
You think if this had been happening, they would have performed better at the screening exercise?
That's how?
If someone had been there to prep them ahead of the screening, they may have performed better during the screening.
It's natural. You see, the point that I'm making is before the screening, she reached out to his colleagues to try and know what the obstacles were and all that. In the US and UK, it's called lobbying, for example. So you lobby your colleagues, ensure that those people, those nominees sail through. If there are issues, he will have tried to iron out those issues so that those people will not have any issues, because these are nominees of the president. It can be embarrassing if the president feels that, okay, these people are good enough to work with me, and they get to the National Assembly, and the National Assembly says, no, we don't want this person. We represent another person to us. Lado's job, Senator Lado's job, is to ensure that those hiccups do not happen. And those nominees had a smooth sail. They were happy. They came out and they realized, being grateful people, they realized that the senator played a key part in ensuring that they didn't have issues during the nomination. So there was no one amongst them who really faced any problem. In fact, somebody was drooling about the fact that Bianca is very beautiful and all that. That's somebody who should have been drilling her.
And he's drilling.
He was far more serenaded by her beauty than talking about what she has to offer. And a lot of beautiful women have much more than beauty. They've got brains. So it's best to focus on what they've got to offer. I'm happy that in a jocular manner, the Senate President said, look, she didn't put beauty in her resume.
Yes.
So let's talk about what she can offer, not the fact that she's beautiful. A former beauty queen, or that former participant in the Miss Universe pageant of 1989. You know, so I think you can see they were grateful. They were grateful to Senator Lado. He has started well, and I'm sure the president will continue to find him useful.
All right. Thank you, BQ. Asiko.
Yeah, I think Senator Bashir Lado is someone that you call fit for purpose, you know. It's like somebody who was ready for it, for the job. And he knew that the task won't just be easy. So the first thing is, how do I impress the president, you know, to keep my job? And the first thing he did was, okay, fine, bring these nominees and prep them up. And not just prepping them, going to his colleagues, you know, to get where he feels will be the loopholes and where they will have issues. He was able to gather it, and also I'm very sure he would have schooled them on when once they ask you, because they will ask tough questions. The senators will have tough questions. So how will you answer as a nominee? And he would have done that and told the nominees, this is how you answer it. Don't get angry. You know, there's no need for you to get unnecessarily emotional. You know, because they will ask you questions that relate to your job.
You remember that nominee from Lagos State that was asked a question and he said, my 8-year-old.
8-year-old.
That was the end.
Exactly. You know,
he never survived it.
Exactly. So
they were not asking your son.
They're asking you, you are the one that needs the job.
Tell us any of this.
You know, so you need to always. So he really prepared them for that particular job. You know, and for the interviews. And I think we need people like him. You know, around the president, people who are fit for their role. You know, once they come, you know that, okay, they're bringing new ideas. Because if you try to be maybe the ones that we had before, like the first set of ministers and ministerial nominees that we had, when they got there, you can see how the senators were asking them questions and they were all, you know, being rattled. You know, but this one, they were calm. If you notice that, because I watched, you know, the the whole thing. They were calm and they were calculated. They knew what. In fact, it was Bianca's own that really got into me, because I remember our own role is very, very vital now for Nigeria.
Yes.
Because most of the foreign...
Libya is doing to us.
Yes, exactly. Because most of the foreign missions were just left like that. Because our Minister of Foreign Affairs was actually occupied with so many things. It was just the only one. So the foreign missions were just there, nobody to guide them, nobody to assist them. But she coming with a lot of experience, shows that she was ready for that job. And I commend the president for actually picking her, to do that job. And for Senator Lado to have schooled them, told them all the things they needed to do when they get to the floor of the Senate, was something else.
All right. Vicky, any final thoughts on this before we move on?